in your mind makes a man a good man?
The number one thing is honesty and integrity.
Okay.
Um, it's hard for me to say what a good man to a woman is, but I can tell you what a good man to me
Science.
from a male point of view. Um, a man of his word, a man who is who he says he is. Um, integrity being a huge part of it. So that to me is a good man. All the other stuff is situational based.
Can y'all tell me what like a bad man is? Like at the bare threshold, not the extreme case, but what crosses the line from a normal man right into a bad man? Just so I can have a working definition.
Mm.
Not the extreme, the bare minimum.
I can.
Like
Oh,
once you've done this, I think you're a
I
bad
was just
man.
gonna go into what I see today. I can.
Not the extreme. Not somebody that's beating
I'm not.
people and doing all this other stuff.
No.
But when
Oh
he's
no,
right
no.
at that
This is
line and he
normal.
crosses.
This is normal Batman. I wasn't talking about no beater. I'm talking about what we consider as normal, what I consider as bad. But go ahead. But okay, Nas, I saw your hand up. I was gonna let you go. Then
Go ahead, Nas.
Okay. A man that's indecisive, a man that's emotionally ruled, a man who has no purpose, a man who's inconsistent, a man whose word has little or no value, a man that does not make genuine effort. I think I'll stop there. I think those are kind of the baseline determining factors without going into extremes.
Yeah, Inaz took about two of what I was going to say. I was going to say, well, a man who's inconsistent in his thoughts and actions, a man who lies is not a person, of his word. Like, back in the day, say your word is your bond. So a man that doesn't necessarily live by that code. I would say a man who also is okay with not growing, like, that kind of plays the victim as opposed to finding solutions, like a problem solver. Like, this isn't working, let me see what I can do. Like, some men get comfortable living in dysfunction, not trying to grow and looking for other people to take care of the problem. So I would say that in terms of baseline, not the extreme, like Marcus was saying. Not to have.
Would you say that those are like signs of a emotional man? Like, so I'll give you an example of how I heard it, right? Like, so if say a problem occurs and he starts like whining about it and not trying to move forward with a solution. Because it kind of sounded like the things you guys were listing were all things that they kind of oriented back around the problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
So if instead of problem solving, that person was like wallowing in the feeling, like, because some of that could be depression, right? That's also a feeling. They could be depressed and stay in that space, or they could be angry and stay in that space. It's like an unregulated emotional man. That's kind of what it sounds like. It's like the threshold. Once you are unregulated emotionally, then you cross over into the lane of bad man. If I'm getting that correct, would that be what y'all saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just okay.
Well, yeah, if you allow the emotions to allow your emotions to drive your behavior. So I don't think it's anything wrong with a man having emotions. Like, if you lost your job and you got depressed, to me, I understand that, right? I would expect you, especially with how much emphasis it is put on men to be the breadwinner or make sure that they, are taking care of their family financially. So if you were in a position where you lost your job and then you got depressed, I don't think it's anything wrong with that. But I think it's more along the lines of, like you said, if you stay in it, it's okay to be like, damn, sometimes you need that moment to wallow and then be like, all right, all right, let me think about what I need to do to, find me another job or get some money in a house or do whatever. So I think that's okay. It's when you wallow, when you let your emotions drive your behavior, as opposed to feeling an emotion in a moment, but then gathering yourself together and then coming up with a game plan of what's next, or, what do I need to do? So absolutely.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to add to that? Did you have any more questions, Mark?
You say anything, Shane?
We'll get into. Did I say anything about what? Emotional man? I can't hear you. Tap that microphone one more time.
It's good, right?
Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I figured, so two things about the mic, because I know it was going off the other day. So I found out that it's got like these little buttons, and it's a spectrum where it grabbed the. So when I had it turned like this, I don't know if you can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to, because it already activated. So that was the issue. I had it turned the wrong way. So that was a user error. The other thing is, by the way, if y'all get the mic when y'all talking, if you want to clip yourself up, you online, because you can see the light, so you could quickly fast forward to when you speaking. But
I have.
oh, that's how you tell. Oh.
Oh no. I wanted to hear more about the mic, but let me ask you a question because I got ADD and I forget. Oh shit! My battery starts and it's going low. Let me plug it up before I shut down on y'all. Okay, so who is this? Is that Lonnie Clark? And I'm glad he asked this, because we'll talk about this in a second. Okay, one of his question was, don't forget, because we're talking about women at this point. We'll talk about men in a second. Don't forget that the man was raised by a single mom. And I think that this is a perfect example of an attack on women. Okay, somebody got to raise you. So would you rather her walk out? So it'd be like, okay, now he's raised by the streets. I mean, what do you want the mom to do? Like, it's like, oh, don't forget. So this is what I don't like. This is the attack that you get attacked for trying to do the right thing. Whether you do it wrong, because nobody has a class in motherhood. Nobody has, there's an attack. Instead of being an attack on the fact that you have to be a single mom, you're being attacked because you are a single mom. You know what I'm saying? I do believe, and we'll talk more about this when we talk about, I guess, men. I don't know. But I hate when people say that. And I know that there are circumstances now. There are circumstances, whether it be welfare or all those things of the past people like to bring up or whatever. But I don't like that attack, like, oh, it's the mom. Or, it's always the woman because she's a single mother. Like there wasn't sperm that had to go into her to make her a single mom. Like that's the attack. Like it's only her. Like it's her fault. It's just her fault. She raised those kids because it's her fault, and it's never the other person's fault. Does that make sense?
So yeah, I think that absolutely can make sense. But so I think when you look at like a lot of the men in the space, especially that congregate to the space, a lot of them have similar experiences that they actually felt as though their mom was a bad woman. Right? It's like they might have, like she might have been abusive, or so back to the is it because all right, so if a man is a bad man, is it better, you guys feel it's not better for him to be in a family, right? What if it's a bad mother? Do you feel, well, I know not you, Inaz. I'm talking about.
I think for for mothers, I just saw, and I wish I would have this clip. I saw a woman who, and I'm gonna say this briefly because we want to go into the next because it's taking it off the subject. But I saw a woman, she had killed, it was a white lady, she had killed 2 kids who were biracial, right? And the question in the chat was, well, where was the dad? And people were like, well, why is it a big deal? Because the other parent should have taken them kids. The other parent should have definitely. So in that situation, but found out he was deceased, so that's not at all. But in a situation where there's a bad mother at play, she should not be the mother. In a discussion, you should do
Well,
everything. You should do everything that you can to keep your kids safe. Pinpoint, but if you see red flags in the mom and the kids being abused, that's for mothers and fathers alike. She should not be. She should not have those kids. She should not.
do you think that's a realistic way that society works? Because so the few people I know who have a situation where they trying to co-parent,
Mhm.
I hear one side of the story, right? So the side of the story I hear, I'm like, damn, she probably shouldn't have the kids based off the side of the story you telling.